Hey, what's up, everybody? True Boxing here. Thank you for coming back to get hit with the truth. So today we're continuing my 2021 year-end top 10s as we look at my number 2 light heavyweight in the world right now, the undefeated Dmitry Bivol, the undefeated WBA champion Dmitry Bivol. Well, Bivol entered the year coming off of a 2020 where he didn't fight at all. You know, he was inactive since October of 2019 when he defeated Lenny Castillo by unanimous decision. And, you know, people were anxious to see him back in action. And almost a year and a half later, in March of 2021, he would take on Englishman Craig Richards. And it was just a lackluster, you know, workmanlike 12-round unanimous decision. Nothing spectacular about that fight. And you know, he walked away with a clean one-sided decision, but he didn't wow anybody. And people were just like, so what? So we waited around in the second half of the year to see him and Gilberto Ramirez, but that didn't take place. Finally, in December, he would take on Umar Salamov in a title defense and would dominate Salamov as well to one-sided rounds. But again, he didn't wow anybody. And that's 3 performances in a row that he hasn't really wowed anybody. And that's the thing, is Dmitry Bivol, to be honest, is very good, but you know, he's not burning the house down. And now, following those performances, Bob Arum is not even interested in pairing him and Arthur Beterbiev up right now. So Dmitry Bivol, even though he's sitting there at number 2, he drops 1 spot from number 1. I felt like Beterbiev moved back ahead of him this year, but even though he you know, he's still right at the top of light heavyweight, and you know, he's running out of those big time options. Like Canelo is not going to fight him unless he absolutely has to for his belt. So I think Bivol needs a big win and an impressive win, and it might be next. There's, you know, right now, from what I remember, is Gilberto Ramirez should be the number 1 contender to Dmitry Bivol's title right now, and that should be a fight that gets ordered by the WBA, because from my understanding, Ramirez versus Yunieski Gonzalez was a final eliminator, so that should have made Gilberto Ramirez the number 1. Right now, Dominic Boazel is ranked number 1, but that, again, that's the latest. You know, there's a lot. These governing bodies don't update their rankings a lot, so you know, it's just random when they finally do update their rankings. And I haven't heard anything about Dmitry Bivol and Gilberto Ramirez yet, but that's the fight that Ramirez wants, and Dmitry Bivol said he wanted that fight before, so I hope he's still serious about that. But I really don't think he's in serious contention for Canelo, but he's impacted on what Canelo does next. He really is, unless the WBA enforces a mandatory, and I hope they do, because I think both him and Ramirez need this fight. They need to prove who the better man is, and it's one of those fights that could potentially, a strong performance from Bivol could potentially give him the edge over Arthur Beterbiev for the struggle at the top of the division. But he needs this kind of win to strengthen his resume going forward. You know, that's what he needs to try to secure a showdown with the potential winner of Beterbiev and Joe Smith Jr., or to keep himself in the mix for Canelo. But right now, he drops 1 spot from number 1. He's 31 years old. Overall, he's 19-0 with 11 knockouts. And, you know, his talent is great. But the thing about Bivol's style is he doesn't really put his foot on the gas pedal, so to speak, to finish a fight or anything like that. It's the same repetitive stuff over and over, which he's talented, he's highly skilled, but, you know, it's the same thing over and over and over. So there's never really any push to finish a fight, to go there. And to be honest, he's becoming the right-handed Demetrius Andre. You know, he's very good, but he's not a big name, and, you know, his style is kind of unattractive. So he's not going to get a lot of people to sign on the dotted line to fight him, you know, and going forward, I mean. And that's why I really hope the Ramirez fight gets mandated and Bivol can prove himself in that one. And personally, I think he beats Gilberto Ramirez. So we'll see what happens. But Dmitry Bivol, hopefully a big fight comes his way in 2021, and hopefully he's there towards the end of the year, still trying to prove himself. But we'll see what happens. All right, guys, that's what I got on my number 2 light heavyweight in the world right now at 175 pounds, the undefeated and reigning WBA super champion Dmitry Bivol, as my 2021 year-end top 10s continue. I hope you guys enjoyed this. True Boxing, you've been hit with the truth.